there was this girl, 27 years old, her name was Rhiannon. She was a worker in the hotel, and members of staff had actually noticed one of the illegal immigrants that they were putting up in this hotel was staring at her like really creepily like the whole night. The fact that it was in a train station just 10 minutes around the corner from us, like, it's really, really shaken up my mom.
So the immigrant population is the source of wealth for the local population.
Mm-hmm.
It's the exact opposite in the UK. Yeah.
But people say that Dubai has no culture, it's just loads of buildings, but this is what modern futuristic culture is. They were like, oh, you want to go to Dubai? Oh, why would you want to go there? Like, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that.
So when I got your number from your dad, I just instantly, my first impression was, this is going to be a snobby rich kid.
Oh no!
What was it like growing up with a politician for a dad?
Oh, I hate that question.
Hi and welcome to Britspective episode 4, which feels a bit like full circle because the first episode was with this guest's dad, and today I have on board Monica Longhi, who's a 24-year-old, now 25. Well, she was 24 when she invested with me, being my youngest ever property buyer, and the only way I could justify that is she's also a British drug dealer. So, Monica, why do you like Dubai so much? Because out of everyone I've met, your obsession with Dubai seems to stand out.
Oh gosh, that's a really good question.
You can justify that you're not a drug dealer.
No, but I am a drug dealer. I've got 2 phones, I've got a trap phone and everything. But I actually deal the good drugs, so it's okay.
Yeah.
So amoxicillin, penicillin, blah, 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 blah. So why I like Dubai? That question's more so like, why not the UK, to be honest, rather than why Dubai. But we'll touch on that a bit later. So, for example, it's clean, it's safe. Just because I can, I go on walks at 2, 3, 4 a.m. in the morning for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, shorts and a t-shirt, just because I can. Can't do that in the UK. Like in the UK, I've been followed by men in balaclavas on bikes, like rooms broken into and stuff like that. I've had really nasty experiences in the UK. So Dubai is safe. And I actually only saw this recently. I think it was when I was at the airport. And it was one of the leaders of Dubai saying that an attack on a woman in Dubai is an attack on me.
Yeah.
And I really liked that. And I only saw it recently. I've been coming to Dubai obviously for the last 2-3 years, but that really it touched my heart.
Yeah.
I like that.
Can't expect Stammer to say that.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. It's clean, it's safe, and it's futuristic. Like, to everybody that says like there's no culture in Dubai, I completely disagree. I think there's actually 2 types of culture here. I think you've got like old Dubai where the traditional culture is, but nobody really knows about that. And then you've got the new Dubai, which I think that is in a culture in itself. Like people say that Dubai has no culture, it's just loads of buildings, but this is what modern futuristic culture is. Because it's not traditional doesn't mean it's not culture. The culture here is innovation, it's the future. We don't have that in the UK. I like the fact you don't see cigarettes on the floor, chewing gum like every millimeter that you walk.
So have you been on the tube on a Saturday?
The what?
Have you been on the tube on a Saturday morning and seen the alcohol bottles and...
I don't do public transport in the UK. I can't lie. Like I'm a bit of a transport snob. If I have to drive 5 hours rather than a 2-hour train, I'm driving.
Okay.
I do not like public transport in the UK. You're guaranteed to be sat next to a crackhead or something, or somebody that generally just doesn't look after themselves. Another reason why I like Dubai and not the UK is because everybody here is so motivated. Everybody here works hard.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be surrounded by people in the UK that just like it's almost like in the UK everybody's lazy. It's almost like they just think that they should get things because they're entitled to it or something like that. So whereas here it just feels like that everybody just works really hard. It's like the more you put in, the more you get out.
Yeah, and you're not penalised for working hard as well.
Yeah, I pay a stupid amount of tax for my age.
Yeah, but I don't think you like this place because of the tax at all. I think
Yeah.
Because you seem to like the 50-degree weather as well.
Yeah, I do.
Like proper summer.
Yeah. Well, I'm half Brazilian though, so I'm like a lizard. So I could literally just lie there in the sun like all the time. Like I like in the summer when it's like close to 50 degrees here, I'm outside sunbathing.
Yeah.
I know that's quite weird, but as I said, I'm like a lizard. Like, you know, like if you just put like a lamp over me, I'll be happy. So the UK, it's just grey. I don't even know what the sun looks like in the UK. I know it's the same sun as here.
Yeah.
But you just open your windows, it's grey. Yeah. You just don't see the sun. You forget that the sky is blue.
Yeah. You know, people in the West like to talk about museums and art galleries, etc. But I think the art and culture here is more for display for everyone. Like the architecture in the towers and the buildings, you'll see so many artistic designs. Like if you see the Address Hotel, or if you see Soba Heartland, they've got a tower called Waves, and it actually looks like
a wave.
Yeah. So there's like so many nice artsy things here. But then you just have to. It's more like, you know, the beauty's in the eye of the beholder.
It's not for everybody. As you said, there are people that are going to think that there's no culture here, but culture doesn't have like one set definition. It evolves like we've evolved as humans. Like the evolution was a thing, you know. So I think culture really is in, as you said, like the beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah. This is also not a welfare state, so everyone's already like automatically motivated to work because no one's taking care of them, and it's like you have to take care of yourself. Whereas although the idea of a welfare state like the UK or Europe, it's done with good intentions, but then it's getting so awfully abused by everyone coming in.
It is getting abused. Like I might get penalised for saying this, but I don't like how my hard-earned money, like the amount of tax that I'm paying, like the work that I'm doing, I'm not lucky by having the job that I have. I've worked so hard to get there. I don't like how that is going to people that are abusing the system. If there are people that are out there that are genuinely needing it, that's absolutely fine. I don't mind being essentially a team player, but for the people that are abusing it, absolutely not. Get me out. With the fact that you have to look after yourself here as well, like I like that. Like you're either part of the race or you're getting left behind. So that's where I think the motivation side comes in. Like you either, I don't know, like UK is just sort of like a rat race. Not like an actual good race. Like it's a rat race.
I think with immigration, for example, Dubai is doing immigration really well. Because they're checking who's coming in, they're providing the visas, there's no boats coming in or whatever. And in the UK, it's not inherently a good or bad thing, but it's about how you use immigration. I think that's where your political parties are going wrong.
Yeah, I've actually got quite an interesting story for you. I don't know if you saw it on the news quite recently, but so we live in a place called Warsaw. And just 10 minutes from us, there's a train station called Cambridge Parkway. It's next to Bescott Stadium, which is where Warsaw football team play and whatever. And there is an asylum seeker hotel full of asylum seekers. I don't think any locals actually stay, or like, you know, people travelling stay in that hotel. And there was this girl, 27 years old, her name was Rhiannon. She was a worker in the hotel, and members of staff had actually noticed one of the illegal immigrants that they were putting up in this hotel was staring at her like really creepily like the whole night. And then when the shift finished, she walked to the train station, which was only like a 3-4 minute walk or something like that. And she walked to the train station, and this guy followed her. She got stabbed 23 times with a screwdriver, 11 times in the head with a screwdriver. That is our local train station. My mom doesn't want to go there anymore because her body was found dead. Well, she wasn't dead, like found on the platform, almost dead. And she didn't actually die. But she was somewhat like paralyzed or something. I'm not too sure, because the screwdriver actually penetrated her brainstem, and then she died 3 days later in hospital. 27 years old. That's only 2 years older than me, and she was working in the hotel. They'd never spoken before anything. This illegal immigrant and Rhiannon never spoken to each other before. Like that is horrendous. Like she was just going and doing her job. You know, there are plenty of jobs out there. She didn't need to be doing that job, but she was probably doing that to, you know. Give back to communities and stuff, but then that's how she got repaid, and that's how people of the UK are getting repaid for letting all these immigrants in. How horrific is that? Like that's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. It happened like just over a year ago, but it somehow only just came on the news a couple of weeks ago.
What? Really?
Yeah, something to do with like the court case or something. Like he denied it even though he was found guilty, something like that. It became massive on the news just 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And your taxpayers' money is going into housing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like how do you think that makes me feel?
Yeah.
Genuinely.
You know, when I'm talking to my investors, not just investors, people looking to move eventually, and it's like some of them are confused whether it's the right move or not, and I just think like there's one thing I tell them: would you like to wait till an incident happens next to you, like 10 minutes away from you, or would you like to move on it now?
So I vowed that I will never, ever have a daughter in the UK, ever. Like it's the last. I don't want children in the UK, but especially a daughter, knowing what I've been through, and then look at what happened to Rhiannon as well. Like I do not want a girl in the UK at all. It's not happening. I don't want any of my children in the UK, but especially a daughter.
Yeah.
It's not a safe place.
Because up until like I think a year or two ago, everyone was thinking, "Oh, that's far away. That happened 4 hours away from where I live."
Yeah.
And now it's starting to happen everywhere now.
The fact that it was in a train station just 10 minutes around the corner from us, like it's really, really shaken up my mom. Really shaken up my mom because she's from Brazil and Brazil's not a safe place either. But knowing that that's the train station that my mom goes to by herself, and in the dark, because the UK gets dark at 3 o'clock, at this time of year. That's another reason why I don't like the UK and like Dubai, because you have consistent sunsets and sunrises. Like the fact that it gets dark, it does automatically make it unsafe, because that is when people come out to kill you. Like, it is true.
Yeah.
It is. I hate to say it, but it is true. It makes it automatically unsafe.
I mean, if we had that kind of weather, I don't think it would be unsafe, because mainly it has everything to do with leadership and how you police your people and the policies they're taking.
I don't know what the police are doing in the UK.
Well, I saw another podcast on trigonometry. I'll send it you. But the police have been, they're not incentivized to go after these things that much. They're trying to get their arrests up, so that's why they're going into, what people say.
They're too worried about people speeding.
Yeah, yeah. So what else? Is there anything inherently that you like about Dubai that's got nothing to do with the UK being a hellhole?
Okay, yes and no. So property. So when we met a year ago, just over a year ago, whenever it was, we walked into Leo's, 2% of my passport, and I owned a property. In the UK, solicitors' fees, tax, oh my gosh, stamp duty. There's just so much, and the time it takes as well. Yeah. And with the property that you helped me buy in Leo's, it looks like a hotel. It looks insane. Yeah. And that only cost what? 50 grand. Yeah. I can't believe that's what I got. What can you buy in the UK for that amount of money? Can you even buy something? Like, even in the really rough areas of the UK, can you buy something for that amount of money? I don't think so. Yeah. So I really like the property side of things here, how well the market is doing, with the 10 to 12% ROI and the actual appreciation of the properties, the investments that are coming here by the country or by the developers. I really like that side of it as well. And the fact that the properties are modern and they're clean, they look like hotels, as I said. Like when you're looking at the renders, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe that. That's what it's going to look like. Yeah. So, yeah.
Let's backtrack a minute. So when I got your number from your dad, I just instantly, my first impression was, this is going to be a snobby rich kid.
Oh no! I hope that impression's gone.
It is, yeah, within the first 5 minutes. But that's what I thought. And then I thought, it's going to be very difficult to, speak with her and sort of help her understand. But then it was the complete opposite. And
it's because I'm from a humble area, I'm not from a snobby area of the UK. Like, I'm from Warsaw. Like, anybody who knows Warsaw, they don't go there. You'll come back with a million diseases and stabbed in the head and the brainstem or whatever. But I come from a really humble place. Yeah.
So there's two things I want to ask. So at the age of 24, what made you decide you want to invest, first of all? And then second of all, from being a tourist in Dubai and just liking Dubai, what made that switch that you want to invest here?
I can't lie. I have to give credit to my dad here. So my dad's been in property for so long, as you know, and he's been very successful in the UK. But I think in the UK with property, my dad's generation and potentially the generations before that have done very, very well.
Yeah.
For people my age, we've missed the boat. I think properties aren't going to go up and appreciate the same amount that they did. Like, there's no way. It will take years and years and years for that to happen. So the fact that my dad has been in property for so long and done really well, I've always naturally wanted to be like my dad. But I think what made me realise was I don't think that was possible in the UK. So when my dad came to Dubai for just the first time a year ago, and he was talking to you, and he, you know, like, he's always got his eyes wide open, and he could clearly see what was going on around him, you know? And then he was talking to you, and then he was like, oh, Monica, I really think you should meet this guy. And then he was like talking to me about the experience he'd had and the property experience that he'd have here. I think my dad's always had this mindset of you invest now, you have a better life later.
Yeah.
So I was sitting on a lot of cash in the UK because I've been working like
as a drug dealer, yeah.
As a drug dealer, but yeah, I've been working for a very, very long time, like ever since I was 16. Again, the work ethic came from my father. Like that generation was people that work hard.
Yeah.
So I saved up a lot of cash, and it was just in a bank with like 2-3% interest or something. Like, and I thought, what can I do with it? And my dad and I actually thought that we should invest in the UK, but that was before my dad came to Dubai. And then my dad came to Dubai, and then that's when things changed. And then he was like, right, okay, I've really done my research here. I think maybe you should look to investing here. And I thought, yeah, okay. Yeah. I listened to him, and then I spoke to you a lot myself. I didn't just blindly do what my dad said.
Yeah.
I like worked a lot with you, and then things happened. So
Okay.
that's why I invested from a young age, because I have a feeling that it will pay off later in the future.
Did you have any preconceived notions about Dubai before you ever sort of came here? When was the first time you came here?
Oh my gosh, now you're asking. Because I come here like 5 or 6 times a year, like I don't actually know. It was either August 2023 or August 2022, but I can't remember.
Okay.
I can't remember which one. So it's either 23
But
or 22.
a hot month.
It was in a hot month. It was 45 degrees when I was sunbathing, but I can't remember which year it was. So it's either been 2 or 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
I think it might have been 2022
But
though.
before you'd come, you must have had some sort of like judgments about what Dubai is like, and what's like the standard sort of thing that people think of Dubai in the UK who have never been to Dubai?
The no culture thing, as we spoke about earlier.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think, oh, you can't get your legs out, you can't get your shoulders out, you can't walk around in shorts, you can't hold hands in public, you know.
Yeah.
Like, complete opposite of that. Like, you've got a lot of freedom here. That was I think number one. They were like, oh, you want to go to Dubai? Oh, why would you want to go there? Like, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. Or isn't it like this, or isn't it like that? And then they basically, and another thing is that they say that it's very fake. I think that
there's areas in every city that are like fake and like.
But I don't think I'd even agree with the term fake.
Okay.
I would think if people are materialistic and they like their handbags, they like their makeup, that's just what they like.
Yeah.
Who are we to determine that that's fake?
Yeah.
You know? But what make, just because they like makeup or lip fillers or butt lifts or, as I said, expensive handbags or expensive shoes or expensive bags,
Yeah.
why does that mean it's fake? If that's what they like.
Yeah, good point.
What the definition of fake means not real. Why are people
Someone's
like
interest in something not real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why, if people like expensive brands, why is that classed as not real? It's just someone's interests. Like, we could like movies, are we classed as fake? We could like different arts or different buildings. Like, is that classed as fake? No, it's just different tastes. Like, every human is different. Yeah. So I think I can understand why people say it, but then I sort of think that's not necessarily true, though, is it? Like, one day when I eventually move here and I start buying expensive shoes or expensive bags, does that make me fake? Just because I like them and just because I can afford them, does that make me fake?
No. Yeah.
So a lot of people say that Dubai is very fake. That's one misconception, but I think that I think it's very far from fake in terms of the community here is built on a lot of expats, and you know what, the people here are so nice.
Yeah, it's 90% immigrants.
Yeah, but the good kind, right? Like the good kind of immigrants.
Yeah.
Like they're just so nice, so welcoming. Like everybody's in the same boat.
Yeah.
Nobody comes here with friends or very little friends, right? So
Yeah.
everybody's in the same boat and you're forced to make friends. Why is that fake? Why is that fake? Tell me, why is that fake?
Because people in the UK look at that and they see people going to the gym and going to the beach for runs, and everyone's got perfect bodies. Like, clearly we don't, but yeah, but they see all of these things, and then nice restaurants and like crazy bills, etc. And they see the cars, and that's all they have access to see. So I think that's where it comes from.
But do you think that that has come from an element of jealousy?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Or the feeling of like they haven't worked hard enough, so it feels like they must think that these people that are here and all the expats are here, they've just been given it or something, or blessed in some form of way. That there are people here that have worked really, really, really hard to get here.
Yeah. I think the same people need to like make a bit more effort to sort of understand what the locals have gone through like 40 years ago, when they didn't have food to eat or water, and the kind of drastic changes they've made in their policies. And this is all hard earned, really.
Yeah. I think one thing that I actually have I'm going to switch it to you and ask you the question. So a lot of the misconceptions or preconceived perspectives of Dubai, one of them is that people die and the staff are not looked after like the people that are shipped in from India and Pakistan when they're building the buildings like Soba or like Leo's or, you know, like for example, what happened at the Qatar, was it the World Cup? Like people were dying and stuff. I think people think that happens here as well. Where has that come from? Because I don't even actually understand that myself.
So back in the days, there were documentaries, I think, from the BBC, and they think that's how it is still today. But then, of course, people are gonna. So this is a capitalistic society, and there's certain rules to follow. And then sometimes these companies wouldn't follow the rules and exploit the labor that comes in here. But the government has found out about that, and they've put a good stop to it, and that doesn't happen anymore. When it comes to injuries, etc., the construction is that kind of field where that happens across the world, not just here. And that's why every single construction site in the world is going to have that board that says so many days without injury. It just happens. It's unfortunate. And these are my people. Like these are I should have more of a problem with all of these things, but it's not the case anymore. For those people, to be fair, they have a better not lifestyle, but they've got a much larger income here to be able to send it back home. And the people who couldn't afford to have kids, for example, back home in India, the jobs they would get would be an X amount, and they get 3X of that here. They do compromise on the lifestyle because everyone back home has their own house, or a better house and lifestyle, but they don't have money. They don't have the ability to educate their children, which they get from here. So in a way, this place is becoming like a magnet for people who want to better the lives of their kids and their family back home, because all the money just flows back home from these guys. So it's fair.
So I think that was one of the misconceptions that people have when they talk to me about, why do you like going to Dubai so much? Like people are dying. I don't want to go to a place where people are dying and this, that, and the other because they're getting mistreated or blah, blah, blah. But I think you've sort of put that to bed, no?
Yeah, but it's so this situation that we have here is a bit better than. So the locals are dying in the UK. So the people who are coming,
the homeless,
yeah. So your government doesn't care about your veterans, your army people. They're sleeping on the streets, or the people who have cancer. They don't have money or funds for your own people, and then you're spending on all kinds of things that you shouldn't be. But it's the complete opposite. So think about this. This country and the local population here, who, by the way, I have a lot of local friends, and they have so much respect for me, and some of them have met my dad, and they treat my dad like their own dad, and they're such nice people, and like they've helped me through, because one of them is a lawyer, so he's helped me a lot. But the idea is that the local population understands and respects our contribution, but then at the end of the day, the economy is immigration driven. So the fact that we're doing business here, or you're bringing your money here as an investor, or your friends, that money is basically funding their lives. So they have free healthcare, free education, everything. So the immigrant population is the source of wealth for the local population. It's the exact opposite in the UK.
Interesting. I never thought about it like that.
So immigration, that means immigration in itself is not a bad thing. It's just how you execute it. Where is your money going? It should, you should be bringing money. So imagine if the UK had a, I don't know, golden visa program or whatever, where you put 3 million quid in and you're trying to get the millionaires in instead of...
Yeah, all of them are leaving, aren't they?
Yeah. And some people think that's a good thing or whatever, but this city is built by millionaires. And these are the people creating jobs for people like me or people like, people who are working on the construction sites, or the opportunities come from those guys. So I'm still learning about it, so I don't know what the right answer is with the whole tax the rich thing.
Yeah.
Because you'll make them leave, like yourself.
That is what it is.
All your drug dealers will leave.
Exactly. I think another misconception I've just thought of in the UK is that people think that Dubai is very expensive. But I think it's not true at all.
Yeah.
Like, I did some research into this, and they said London's actually a lot more expensive to live than here. Like groceries, property, rent. Where have they got this from?
Yeah.
I think it's because people come on holiday and they go to the typical tourist place, but that's like any country. Like, I could go to Singapore and stay in the nicest of hotels, have the nicest of restaurants, like eat in the nicest of restaurants, have the nicest experience in shopping and buying expensive clothes.
Yeah.
But yes, that would be expensive. But if you're living a bit more like a local or a little bit more low key, then it's cheaper than the UK.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people think, oh, Dubai's too expensive, blah, 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 blah. But they just don't want to open their eyes and do the research themselves.
Also, when your property is handed over, and let's say after 2-3 years there's something that goes wrong, the guy who'll come and fix it will charge you 10% of what a guy in the UK will charge you.
Yeah.
So there's like so many, the labor is cheap here. So that's the main thing. And that's why a lot of things are cheaper. But then people are just seeing the luxury side of things, and that's why they think it's expensive.
It's because they're seeing it of the luxury side of things, but they're also seeing it based on what people are doing on holidays and stuff,
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, getting a limited view of...
Exactly, like going on holiday, as I said, like to Singapore or something, or Hong Kong or Japan or something. Like, Japan's very expensive. Like, you're not getting a true reflection of what it's like living there, you know?
What was it like working with me, like finding your property?
It was a very, very good experience. Very, very good experience. Like, you didn't push us to buy anything. And I think you came across more of a consultant, and you were talking to us about our pain points in the UK and what we were looking for. And, you were really picking our brains apart on why this is the right thing for us to invest here. As I said, you were not pushy. It was more like you presented us the information and you sort of took a step back. But that's all we needed. That's all we needed. Like that was a great, great experience for us. Like my dad and mom think very highly of you as well. I think very highly of you. And then whenever I have anybody interested in property remotely, like I've had like 2 people ask me this week already, like my cousin's friends here. I was like, oh yeah, I've got a great contact. Like you should speak to him and like ask questions, because they've been renting here for years. I was like, oh, and then thinking, oh, we're thinking of buying. And I says, don't do it in the UK, please. Just speak to Nick just for like 5 minutes and he will change your mind. Not because he will convince you or hypnotize you. Like he will just present you the facts. So no, it was very good. And then you're always responsive on WhatsApp. And like, I know with me, it took a little bit longer trying to explain things like over and over again until you blew in the face. So you're very patient with us. And then you acting as like a middleman between me and the developer and taking on some of the problems yourselves that I was having. That was just second to none. Like you don't get that in the UK. It's almost like a personalized, tailored experience. I think. Like it's very personable. Yeah. And it feels like it doesn't come from a place of like money grabbing, typical salesperson money. It feels like it actually comes from a place of love and passion from yourself. It feels like you care, and I think that's ultimately what helps people build relationships and trust. Like trust is very, very important. Yeah. So I think ultimately that's where it came from, the fact that you have a passion for this, and when you speak about it, you've got. I can see it comes from a place. It's not coming as a figure of like target that you've got to hit per quarter or per year. It's coming from a deeper place than that, and I think that's why myself and my parents really, really hold you in high regards. And as I said, we trust you.
Yeah. For me, it's just it's like I know that you're coming into Dubai and you've probably been before as a tourist, but then it's so complicated. It's a whole city.
Oh, yeah.
Like I would be like,
whoa.
I would freak out if I had to buy something in London. I know nothing. I've been
Yeah.
many times, but I know nothing about which area, etc. So I can imagine that it's such a painful process to sort of get your head around the whole thing. So that's my job, to sort of simplify it and make it easy for you to understand. That's all.
Yeah, for sure. It's almost like you are translating everything
Yeah,
for us
yeah.
and dumbing it down
Yeah.
for us, but you do it in a very lovely, non-patronizing way. So it works out. It works out really, really well.
Yeah.
So I can't fault it, the experience at all, working with you.
All right.
And look, I look forward to, when I move to Saudi, non-tax salary, like I can't wait to work with you more on buying more properties. Like hopefully this time next year I'll have 3 more or something like that,
Yeah. We need to get you to become a millionaire by 30.
Oh, before 30,
Before,
please.
before,
Before 30, please.
What was it like growing up with a politician for a dad?
Oh, I hate that question.
And he's right wing as well, so. Which I love, to be fair.
I mean, yes.
I look at him as if he says center-right. He is.
So, I think it was obviously less trouble growing up, right? Because when you're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, like people don't really understand politics. I think the trouble started to come more so when I went to university, age 18, 19, because obviously everybody at university is left-wing, like heavily left-wing. Like probably like 90% of the Labour votes or something are like students, I don't know. So I think the problem started to come then.
Yeah.
And then I think since then, when I've got into the world of work, especially in the last, I'd say, 2 to 3 years, is your dad Marco Longhi? Is your dad the Conservative MP? Is your dad the one who defected to Reform? And I'm just like, oh God, like this is going to be an interesting conversation. Because the last 3 of my managers who have found out about that I've not told them, they've all been left-wing.
Yeah.
And it's put me in a place of where I feel really uncomfortable, but not because I'm ashamed.
So if you had told them, you feel like discrimination based on,
yeah, for sure.
And that's from the left wing.
So, for example, my first manager, right? We went out for dinner and they found out that my dad was a politician. And there were 4 of us at the table. So there was my manager, another guy, and both of those 2 were left-wing. But then there was me, and then there was another guy. And I just sort of sat there like this, like watching the ping pong going backwards and forwards, because the guy that was sat next to me, he was right-wing. He earns well. He has a daughter that's going through private school, and obviously about the tax side of things, coming onto private schools. So he's very right wing, but then the 2 of these are left wing. And as I said, I was literally just ping ponging between the 2 of them, and I just stayed silent because I know that if I speak, I'm going to get judged or discriminated against. And they're like, "How can you believe that?" And I don't. If there's something in the UK you don't talk about, it's politics. You just can't. You can't talk about politics in the UK.
Yeah.
So that was my first manager, and then my second manager. Oh, your dad was the guy that voted for Brexit. and then my third manager, my final manager. Oh, is your dad the Conservative that's defected to Reform? Oh, my wife really likes him, but I can't stand him. Like me and my wife are on 2 polar opposite ends of the political spectrum. But my wife really likes your dad. Yeah, I don't really understand that, but so yeah, I think the challenges have come in the last few years. It's not been growing up per se. I just keep my mouth shut.
When I met him, I had no idea that he's a politician or whatever, or what he stands for. But I just saw him as a person, and I met him as a person. He didn't tell me, at first.
But that's what I try to do as well. I don't walk around saying, "Oh yeah, my dad's Marco Longhi."
Yeah.
I don't do that. I don't put it on like social media profiles or whatever. Like no, or my LinkedIn. No, people find out.
Yeah.
And then they assume that I have the same views as my father, which they're not entirely wrong, to be fair. But it's just besides the point. I get heavily judged, and we get heavily judged for having an opinion.
Yeah.
look at what happened with Charlie Kirk in the US. He got shot for having an opinion.
Yeah.
It's scary. You feel like you can't have an opinion in the UK. So as I said, what was it like growing up? I just stayed silent. These last few years, I just stayed silent. Don't say anything.
It's reached a point where I now tell my investors that how does it feel like to move from the UK to the Middle East, so from the West to the Middle East, to avoid getting your hands chopped off. It's when because when I spoke to your dad, it was we didn't. I just saw him as a person first, and then he's just so passionate about his country.
He probably respected that you saw him as a person, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he just has this love for his country, which is a good thing. And that was a lot before the UK reached a point where now you're not allowed to sort of put your own flags up.
It's scary because people putting up the flags now, it's deemed as like a massive racist movement. But you guys have got UAE flags, the Dubai flag everywhere.
Yeah.
But are you guys deemed as racist for having your flag everywhere on the Burj Khalifa, on building sites, like on cars? Like, why are you guys not deemed as racist? But we are.
You know, the funny thing is, so 2nd of December is like the main day for the UAE National Day, and everyone, including non-locals, put the UAE flag on their cars and they go around.
I would.
Yeah.
I'm proud to be here. Like, I would.
Yeah. Like the government's saying, don't do it. You don't need to. But,
but they want to because they're proud.
Even though we're from different countries. Everyone's from different countries. But
that's what this economy's like. This what this community's like. It's a diverse hub, a diverse international hub of people.
Yeah.
That all come together. You know, you go... This is another thing that I like about Dubai, right? If we go back to the previous question... You go to the mall and you sit in a restaurant, you've got an Italian family sitting next to you. In front of you, you've got a Chinese family next to you. You've got Russians next to you. It's just so mixed. It's great. And as I said, like, everybody's in the same boat and everybody's not afraid to go and talk to each other and make friends because they've all come here alone.
Yeah.
They're coming to a new country. They don't know anybody.
Yeah.
So that's another reason why I like Dubai, the culture.
And
mix of culture.
Everyone completely understands and respects the fact that they've got the opportunity in life to better their lifestyle or their families, and they respect the country for it, and they feel a part of the country, and that's why they want to put on the flags. And if people just did that in the UK, and there's so that's the problem.
If we just go back a bit to when you said about my dad being passionate for his country, when I ask him, like, in this present day, why do you like the UK? It's dirty, it's dangerous. Like, what's wrong with you? And he's like, chick, I like the UK for what it used to be.
Yeah.
Back in the day, the UK didn't used to be like this. So I still love the UK, but for what it was, not for what it is now. And it just breaks his heart that as a politician, he's probably one of the only politicians that was in Westminster with morals and pride of, and as I said, like he's proud of what it used to be, not what it is anymore.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to bring it back to what it was.
Yeah, no, but I know your dad. He's not gonna give up. He's gonna change things.
He's a stubborn man, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think it's really important at the fact that, like, people don't forget what the UK was, what it like years ago.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, my mom, who came from Brazil, very, very dangerous place. Like, she was constantly looking over her shoulder. She said that when she moved to the UK, it was a safe haven for her.
Yeah.
So my mom now sees Dubai as a safe haven for the UK. So she saw Brazil most dangerous, moved to the UK safe haven, but now she's scared again. Now she's found Dubai. So it's sort of like Dubai is a safe haven for the UK, UK was safe haven for Brazil.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
As a comedian, I have more freedom of speech on a stage here than the UK.
I'm not surprised. You can't say anything these days without it being deemed as racist, or you'd get absolutely terrorized for it.
The West used to be sort of the reason I had moved to the UK is because in my head it was just such a free place, and some of it is, but the main ideal that I really liked about the country was you can have an opinion, you can keep this opinion or the opposite opinion, and you're entitled to do that. But then people are now dying for having opinions, getting killed or getting cancelled or whatever it is. But if you had to give up on so many things as a British person, might as well just move. And it's becoming a lot better for most people compared to the UK.
Yeah.
But the wise surprises everyone. Maybe,
Yeah.
in a few
In a few years, exactly.
Yeah,
It might change. It's
because
moving.
up until 2-3 years ago, you couldn't have a child without marriage, but now you can.
Oh, right. And
You can even go to an IVF.
And living as well together, I think I've
Yeah,
heard.
yeah. So all things are changing.
Yeah. So,
All right. Thank you for coming. I really, really appreciate your time.
No, it's okay.
And it's been so much fun talking to you.
It's
and
been
always
lovely
is.
talking to you as well.